Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode in Wizard101. I know, it hasn't been a year yet, but still, we're doing another one. And we're going to start this out with a little bit of pet training. This guy here has basically everything I want on him. He's got spell proof, 10% universal, 5% universal resist, and he's got make cast punishment, empowerment, and fortify. And currently he's got this jewel in him. 6% extra balance damage, which gets me up to 100% damage outgoing, and 50% universal resistance incoming from his talents as well. So that's all very good. However, I have a better balanced damage jewel to put in him just as soon as we level him up, and I've been hard at work getting him to ultra, because apparently he has to be ultra before I can put balance dealer in as an extra jewel. So I can finally train him up one more time. We're doing a slightly different game than normal, and it must be done with the utmost precision. There we go. Oh, I also turned the sounds off. That's not helpful. Alright. So basically, as soon as we get this guy leveled up, there we go. It's hard to tell without the sounds. Then we'll be able to put the jewel in. Got it. One more. Much easier with sounds. Ah, darn it. It matters not. All that really matters is the snack, to be honest. So how much do we have to fill this guy up then? Only 9 XP. Alright. So we need something with 5 XP or higher, because we've got this double XP and rewards going on. I've got oodles and oodles of these. Let me just give him that. Alright. Huh. Interesting. Not sure what that actually means. He gained unshakable opal. Huh. Okay. Max. Excellent. Alright. That means we probably ought to be able to put our jewel in, right? Still got balance dealer in. Good. And we will go to affix jewels. Balance giver citrine can now be replaced with balance dealer citrine, 8% damage. So we will shatter that. Yep. Balance dealer affix and 8% extra damage. So we now have 102% 102% outgoing balance damage, which is awesome. I also have a couple other pets, and just because I know this is something that interests the Wizard101 viewers, let's see. I have what I'm trying to go for is double resist, triple damage, and fortify, make us fortify. So far I've got this pet here, and I've got this pet here, and I'll hatch those two together, and that'll get all the talents I want. They share the talents I need. And then I'll put in a damage jewel. So that's what's going on with the pet hatching situation. This one is a Beastmaster's Eagle, and I'd rather have an enchanted armament, but I'll just train the enchanted armaments and not train the Beastmaster's Eagles. And I think that'll all work out pretty well. Or, you know, something like that. Maybe I'll need a couple more steps in between. However, we are not going to be working on our pets this episode. I would rather work on Morganthe. So we're trying to get ourselves a decent amulet. This one's pretty good, but it could be better. And and Morganthe, the last boss in Khrysalis, drops some pretty good amulets, and this is one of them for the Death School. I am a balanced school wizard, so I can't actually use it, but you know, I'll put it on my Death Wizard when he's level 95. Why not? So what we're going to do is we're going to try and farm Morganthe. I'll show you a battle, and basically I'll just do that a couple times. Probably won't get the amulet, but you know, might as well show you how to farm Morganthe. While we're waiting for Team Up to work, I've got this deck currently equipped. Now this deck is actually a pretty good one, but I'll focus on the cards more than the stats given by the deck. Basically, I've just got a bunch of blades, a little bit of healing, and basically a couple other boosts, as many as I can get, and that's more or less all you really need when you're doing this. Of course, different schools need different things, but not a difficult fight really. She's pretty simple. Her cheats don't do a whole lot of they don't matter too much, right? And just so long as you can do the damage, you'll have a fine time in the battle, more or less. Okay, not quite sure how this is going to work out. We've got 2 balance, a life, and a death. If the death guy walks in, then we'll have a pretty good hitter. Otherwise, things might not turn out so well. With random teams, it's kind of hard to get a proper team organized. However, I can do the damage myself if necessary. It's just probably not the quickest method. Balance wizards have a hard time blading themselves just because their blades are kind of weak due to being universal, and no one else can give them blades either because none of the elemental blades that they have or the spirit blades that they have work on a balance wizard. Anyway, I will show you when things get interesting because currently they aren't. So this battle here is that thing casts a lot. Alright. This battle here is basically against 4 different Morganths of different schools. They've all got a lot of health, and they don't really cheat a whole lot. One of them, the balanced one, has a chance of putting a weakness on you with Power Nova, so that's something to watch out for. But really, they're pretty much just a bunch of bosses. Just normal lumps that do damage and soak up hits. Currently, we're all basically just blading ourselves, and we're getting a damage bubble apparently, or maybe he'll recast it. Nope. Alright, the damage bubble's pretty good, but I don't know if we'll actually use the damage because we don't really need to. I don't think. These wizards will do the damage for us just so long as we give them boosts. So this thing here is really their only cheat of importance. Every 4 rounds they cast that, just does some damage, and yeah, nothing too big there. One thing death wizards have to keep an eye on is that if they do a convert on the death Morganthe to switch their damage to life so it gets boost, then sadly the death Morganthe casts a damage over time on herself, which gets rid of the death convert. So that's not so great. And funnily enough, if you attack the ice Morganthe, or if you put a global bubble up, then the storm Morganthe reacts, and something you do makes the balance Morganthe react. But all those reactions are the same thing, they just put a damage over time on themselves, which is not a solution to most of the problems they are trying to solve, which is kind of funny. It's hitting time. We've all put up some blades, and there are some traps. All the feints are going to be used by the first guy's attack, which is why I waited until now to do my raw, and hopefully we will get them all out. Probably the first guy's attack will get them all out even, and mine and the death guys are most likely not going to matter. So we probably could have done this more efficiently, I suspect, but oh well. The best idea, I think, is just to blade one person as much as possible, as quickly as possible, and then they can hit, and you can take them down in 3 turns if you've got a good storm wizard and a good couple of bladers. So that would be my suggested strategy. However, I think this is probably it. Let's see. This spell, by the way, I'm going to get in 4 levels. Exciting. Looks like it did ice. So that is one thing. This will, yeah. See that first Morganthe is ice, and so she's going to get resist, and that's not so great. However, Death Guy and I are both also attacking, so we'll split our damage types, and that's pretty good way of doing things, I think. Alright, yeah. So that wiped out the last 3. And the first one is still alive, but hopefully my Ra and the Call of Krulu that the other guy's doing will be sufficient for that one. This is sort of part of the narrative, this long, lengthy death. She's supposedly taken over Khrysalis and is taking shadow power and trying to rewrite the spiral with a song of creation, but you know, none of that's all that interesting, is it? No, I'm kidding. It's actually a pretty good story. It's a fun game. And let's see. Yeah. I guess that's not too fabulous. But see, she did that that damage over time around her in response to the attack, which is kind of funny. I suspect this one will do rather more because Death Person had both me and him blading himself. I gave most of my blades away, which is why I didn't have many. Yeah. Alright. So, let's see what we're gonna get. And this is basically what I've been doing in the game lately, trying to farm for the amulet. So it would be rather nice to get it right now. And now we have to sit through the death sequence.
No! Impossible! I just need more power to destroy you, villain. I draw down the song of creation and the shadow web! Its vibrant power courses through my veins like liquid fire. I will obliterate your living memory. No, wait, it's too much. The shadow.
Surprisingly, there isn't a second battle.
The song is too loud. I cannot hold it all. I cannot now.
There we go. And that's the end of Khrysalis. So, did we get it? Ah, I got the storm one. Well, actually, that's pretty good because I've also got a level 100 something storm wizard on this account. The only issue is that it's not my storm wizard. I share the account with brothers. Oh well, he'll be happy at least. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. This is what I've been doing, and that's how the battle with Morganthe goes.
The sky falls, taking her with it. Her song comes to an end, and all that is left is silence.
Yeah, silence at the end of the episode. So, hopefully you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.